Welcome to this explainer. Today we're decoding the absolutely chaotic new trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now right off the bat, we're being dropped smack in the middle of Peter Parker's panic. And look, this isn't your friendly neighborhood sunny swing through the city. No, this points to a much darker, far more intense narrative than anything we've seen recently. So if you're wondering why you should care about this specific storyline, it's because we're witnessing a massive tonal shift for a character we all kind of thought we knew inside and out. Okay, let's dive right into this and see exactly what's tearing Peter's world apart.
We start with this desperate, visceral plea from Peter. This acts as our hook, pulling us instantly into a mystery where the hero himself is literally terrified of his own reality. I mean, think about it. When the guy who regularly swings from skyscrapers and brawls with supervillains says he's losing his mind and is totally out of control, yeah, we really need to pay attention. It sets the stakes immediately. It tells us the primary threat might not even be on the outside, but right inside of him.
To make sense of all this fragmented, fast-paced dialogue, we're going to organize these clues into 5 distinct mystery boxes. We'll start with the mutating monster within, then examine the unseen external threat, track his shifting allies and altered memories, touch upon Aunt May's lasting legacy, and finally, look at what this brand new day really means.
Okay, Section 1. The mutating monster within. Let's unpack Peter's biological crisis.
So Peter is desperately seeking a cure for something going horribly wrong inside his own body. He turns to Dr. Bruce Banner, asking specifically for a way to suppress his mutating DNA. He actually references getting rid of that monster inside. Now, you know as well as I do, whenever you bring Bruce Banner into a conversation about suppressing a monster, things are deadly serious. Peter isn't just looking for a quick fix here. He's begging for a total genetic intervention before his mind is completely gone.
And this sets up a brilliant ideological clash. Peter's goal is straightforward, right? Suppress the mutating DNA, erase the bad parts of the monster. But Banner challenges him philosophically. He asks, how would you decide what parts of nature are good or bad? Banner understands from his own life that you can't always just surgically remove the darkness without losing a part of the light. It's a fascinating moral dilemma planted right in the middle of a superhero crisis.
The crucial takeaway here is that Banner himself is struggling with this exact same dynamic. He issues a really ominous warning. If you see me with this off, run. And that warning is immediately followed by a thunderous roar, with Peter noting, I didn't know you could get that big. This proves that failing to control the monster within has giant-sized, catastrophic consequences. For Peter, Banner is basically a walking cautionary tale of what he might become if he can't get a handle on his own mutation.
Moving to Section 2, the unseen external threat. Let's decode Metzger's warning.
So while Peter is fighting this war with his own biology, a character named Metzger introduces our second major mystery. He outlines a massive external danger with some truly terrifying parameters. We're talking about a threat that cannot be controlled and one we can't even see. But here's the real kicker. Peter is immune to it, and he's literally the only one who can sense it. Just imagine that. An invisible, uncontrollable enemy is out there hunting, and Peter is the world's only alarm system.
And just when you think the tension can't possibly get any higher, an unknown voice taunts him from the shadows. Did you miss me, Spidey? What's really chilling about this specific phrasing is the implication. It makes it abundantly clear that this unseen threat isn't just some random villain. It has a deep, personal history with Peter. So now he's fighting a war on 2 fronts, his mutating body on the inside and a ghost from his past on the outside.
Section 3. Shifting Allies and Altered Memories. Let's check in on the rest of the cast.
The extreme isolation of our hero becomes starkly apparent when we look at his usual support network. Ned and MJ, they're moving on, finishing up their final semester at MIT, completely separated from Peter's daily life. Bruce Banner is off experimenting with incredibly dangerous suppression tech. This leaves Peter so utterly alone and desperate that he actually has to show up at a door and beg a man named Frank for a place to hide, telling him he just doesn't have anywhere else to go.
But honestly, the physical distance isn't even the strangest part of all this. The most jarring clue about these shifting relationships is this bizarre moment where someone seemingly has to introduce themselves to MJ. She responds, he's a little weird. I'm MJ? You two don't know each other? This strongly hints at fractured memories or completely altered realities. It begs the question, who remembers what, and how much of Peter's past has been fundamentally rewritten?
Because of all this confusion, we get this heartbreaking line from Peter, I'm sorry, but you're in danger. You just have to trust me.
This leaves an isolated Peter frantically trying to protect people who might not even fully remember their shared history. He can't explain the mutating DNA or the invisible enemy. He just has to look his friends in the eye and ask for their blind trust. That is a massive emotional burden for someone who is already claiming to be totally out of control.
Section 4. Aunt May's Lasting Legacy. This is the true emotional core of the story.
In the midst of all this biological chaos, the memory loss, and these invisible villains, the narrative firmly grounds itself in the echoing wisdom of Aunt May. We hear her past words acknowledging the exact terror Peter is currently experiencing. This whole thing can get really scary. It's almost as if her memory is reaching out through time to validate his current panic about his mutation and these unseen enemies closing in.
And then she delivers the ultimate grounding message. This beautiful follow-up acts as an emotional anchor. She reminds a mutating, terrified Peter that his true power lies in his humanity, no matter how powerful or monstrous he feels he's becoming. The people who love you because you're you. Not because of the spider bite, not because of the superpowers, but because of the man beneath the mask. This is exactly what Peter needs to hear to pull himself back from the brink. Taking a quiet moment to process her words, to just simply say, "I miss you, May," changes absolutely everything for him. You can actually feel the shift in his demeanor right here. He asks for just a second to gather himself, and that brief pause, it gives Peter the resolve he needs to stop hiding, stop running from the mutating DNA and the ghosts of his past, and finally face the danger head-on. Which brings us to Section 5, A Brand New Day, stepping into a new, mature reality. By the end of the trailer, that frightened, out-of-control teenager from the beginning, he's completely gone. Replacing his panic is a seasoned hero making jokes about stretching before a fight, asking his ally, "Did you stretch? You a big stretcher? It's so good for you." This playful banter proves he's accepted the stakes of this dark new reality. He isn't crippled by fear anymore. He's loose, he's ready, and he knows exactly what he has to do.
He explicitly states, "I'm not in high school anymore," right before asking, "You ready?" As he steps up to fight this unseen threat, we're left with a massive question to ponder. How will this physical mutation, combined with this newly found, hard-earned emotional maturity, permanently redefine who Spider-Man is? He's survived the initial panic, sure, but this brand new day is only just beginning. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.
Hello Hollywood movies lovers, welcome to watch new Hollywood movies. Icebreaker 230, and this is story and watching for and like and subscribe adventure stories and more activities adventure. Hey YouTube, this last activities and my small activities, though not mass content, is my content. Okay YouTube, thank you guys.